Hey everyone. So I'm going to do a quick oracle read for you. I actually already got these cards out and then I was looking through them and I wanted to share. Um, Shout out to all of my people in the US. This was actually something I was thinking about as I was trying to clear my mind, to be honest, but something I was thinking about as I was shuffling and playing around today just now was the election and everyone's emotions. And oddly enough, now that I'm here on camera talking, I'm getting emotional, where I wasn't really previous to this. I won't go into it. I don't want to make this a political rant. It's not. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, we have to deal with what comes. And if you've listened to me talk about astrology, or if you watch the astrology, there are definitely elements, placements, and movements happening coming up next year and just in the future that are not so pretty, and they're not good omens. And it's an interesting mix of energies, I'll just say that. So that things would unfold in certain ways is a little bit unsurprising in some regards. Hey, whoa, sorry, my cat is doing something he does not normally do, and I'm getting upset. What is going on? Okay, so I'm gonna edit that out, and I've now lost my train of thought. So we're gonna leave it there. I just will repeat what I think I already said, that certain outcomes are not surprising given what the future seems to hold. And this is kind of, sort of, that energy, which I'm going to talk about in 1 second. I wanted to give that train a second to calm down. So this is kind of what made me think that this is collective in nature. I'll zoom in. This card, protection, number 29. The number 29 has been following me around like no one's business. I mean, I think I've mentioned it now to several people. That's it. That's the point that I'm at with the number 29, that it's just like freaking me out. And one thing I will say, for me personally, I mean, maybe this means something to you, maybe not. And maybe this whole reading is not going to mean anything to you, okay? And that's fine. This is just for the people who it will mean something to, period. What's really interesting is this number 29 has been following me around for weeks now. And then finally, after weeks, I went to visit my dad, who is deceased, and I went to his grave, I should say. And so I'm driving around the cemetery, and I found it immediately. It was basically straight shot. I knew exactly where I was going, even though, I thought maybe I wouldn't, but I got there immediately. And then as I was leaving, I'm not good at telling stories, am I? As I was leaving, cutting to the chase, I was with my daughter, and we were driving out, and we kind of rounded the corner away from like the nook where his grave is, and I see a sign. You know how cemeteries have signs, markers, like big ones have, names, numbers, things like this to tell you where you are, to help you navigate, right? As I was rounding the corner to leave, I saw a sign, and it said 29 on it. So once again, I'm not trying to make this too much about me, because I don't think it is specifically just about me. But that's sort of like how I connected with this number, but yet it still comes up. So the message is still coming, obviously. Cutting to the chase. So this card of protection is coming out. We have this card, apples, coming out. I'm going to read you some of these, okay? Maybe I'll just read all of them. Why not? I'm talking so much. Apples, the underworld, coming of winter. Okay, so we're going to start with the protection card, because if you don't listen to anything else, I feel like this is the card that I want you to listen to. So this card is about safety and things that are hidden, okay? Strong energy of, you know, protection from the other side, ancestry, things like this. Whatever it is you believe in, whatever sort of support that you lean on that is not of this earth at present. All right, I'm not going to try to box it in for you, and I'm not going to read that part. So I'm just going to read this. It says, many of us have had to search out our own safety since beginning our journeys as spiritual healers, students, and teachers. We've faced criticism for being witches, faced jealousy for being true to our paths, and had to withstand attacks from our own egos. But we rise and keep going with fearless determination. We know we have our spiritual team, our ancestors, guides, and angels to support us and keep us from harm. You are always protected. No matter how scary the world may seem, or how many things go bump in the dark night of your soul, within you is a space that cannot be harmed, penetrated, or shaken. Here you can retreat to heal and find comfort. You need only step through the veil into the arms of those who love and care for you. If you have drawn protection, know that all is well and you are safe. Your spiritual support team will protect you from harm. You are protected from hexes, evil eyes, danger, psychic attacks. You're even protected from the dangers of your earth-based ego. Know that you can handle anything. When you are feeling unsafe, speak to the powers that be, ask them to guide you where you do not have eyes, and to keep you safe when you're in harm's way. They are always walking with you and are ready to provide you with additional support whenever you feel the need to ask. All right. And that was the message that I just wanted to share with basically anyone who wants to listen today. Because I think it's resonant on so many levels. And I will say one interesting, not that you need to care, but one interesting energy that I was picking up on for myself personally, and maybe this could be something that you're struggling with, is things trying to like attack me or come for me or steal from me or infiltrate me, whether it's my psyche, my physical being, my house, whatever it is. But I mean, mostly I'm talking about like psychically, right? But it could be anything for other people. This is something I was picking up on in like reading for myself, is that there's something trying to weasel its way into my psyche, somehow unconsciously, subconsciously, in my dream state, at night, right? Lurking in the shadows. And that's kind of, sort of, what I'm feeling here with the apples and the underworld as well. So I just thought I would point that out. So let's talk about the apples. Okay. Card number 4. I'll show it to you up close. Not that close. So this is about deception, mistrust, rotten. Those are the key words. All right, so we all know the story of Snow White taking the apple from her stepmother who masquerades as a sweet old crone. It's a wise old tale that's existed long before Disney ever made it into a movie, and a warning that things are not always as they seem. Sometimes our greatest enemy is hiding behind the mask of a savior. Death is infused into something meant to give us life, and someone pretending to be our friend is luring us into a trap. There are rotten people in the world who will take advantage of those who trust without pause. They come bearing gifts to gain your trust. Their faces are in all shapes, sizes, and colors. These people always get their due, one way or another. When an apple appears in your spread, it is a warning to pause before making any decisions about someone or a situation. You do not have all the facts yet, and there could be danger for you now. Betrayal and deception are likely, so stay vigilant. You must tread carefully until everything comes to light. This is especially true. We didn't draw the seduction card. Someone may be taking advantage of you or setting you up for failure. I'm going to leave that for you to interpret as you want to, as you see fit, all right? Again, I think as I was going through these, I was like, these are so resonant for so many reasons, applicable to so many different things, and I wanted to share them. I don't always want to share. In fact, most of the time, I just clean everything up and put it away because I don't want to talk about it, or it's just not good, or I'm not in the mood to share. But I am today. So the underworld is the next card. Transition and judgment are the key words. So in magic, the underworld is a place of transition between one life and the next, a place where you can retreat to replenish your soul and learn the details of your next human experience assignment. That doesn't mean you won't find judgment when you cross the veil. It is often said that how you live one life will determine your abundance in the next. Those who go through life with loving, kind hearts will find prosperity and great love in the next. Those who are cruel will find themselves in a life of hardship and trauma as a way to atone for their unkindness. The message for this card is about transitions. It's about moving out of the old and into a new way of living. We've been clearing out baggage for a long time because it takes a long time to clear out ways of doing and thinking that make up our very ways of life. But it's time to step through the threshold into something new and different. This can be scary because it means something has to die so that your new life may begin. You are more than prepared to handle this new path, or it wouldn't have been given to you. Embrace the change, loved one. All right, coming winter. Reflection and rest. Yeah, there's a big message here. I said I wasn't going to interpret, but I am. Number 11, coming of winter. Reflection and rest, right, are the key words. Yes. And there's like a big message here to pause, to evaluate, to critically analyze a situation, and to really think through what changes you're going to need to make, or what changes are going to need to be made to move forward, to handle some sort of transition, some sort of change. Okay? I mean, this is good advice, period, because as I said a few minutes ago, the planetary shifts that are happening, that are coming up in the next year, 2 years, are revolutionary changes, for lack of a better way to describe it. These are, we're changing, what's the word I'm looking for? It's generational shifting, right? All the outer planets are shifting. Pluto is going into Aquarius, finally, sturdily, right? And what I'm referring to is that it's been retrograding back and forth, right? So it's finally moving forward and moving into Aquarius for an extended period of time. I don't know how long it's there. Long time. So Pluto's moving into Aquarius. We have Neptune moving into Aries next year. Okay? I'm looking at the big picture. And that's another thing that I feel is important to think about and talk about right now is the big picture. Like how events unfolding today, tomorrow, are leading up to things that are unfolding next year, things that are unfolding the year after. I feel like a big picture view is important right now. I also think that a small microscopic view is important right now, right? Like people who are worried about politics and things that are happening nationally, globally. And, you know, if you're worried about something and things are not going your way or whatever the case may be, you're always free to shift your focus to your own community, to your own city, to your own state, whatever the case may be, okay? I'm a little United States centric because that's where I live, first of all, and I know that most of my audience is in the United States as well. But change that up for wherever you specifically live. You can always focus on that. Like, you know, for example, there's things happening at the state level that can build and, you know, protect people from certain things that they're afraid of at the national level, right? Like I didn't really want to go here, but I will. Like if we're talking about abortion, for example, and women worried about this, and I'm 100% pro-choice. I'm not going to shy away from saying that. But, I'm also not going to debate it with anyone because point blank period. So if we want to talk about abortion, for example, and, you know, women's rights in healthcare, there are several states that passed, constitutional security for their specific states, okay? So that's an example of what I'm saying can be done at a more micro level. So anyway, let's talk about coming winter. Reflection, rest, yes. The outside world can seem such a cold and distant place. It can be tough to navigate the trail buried beneath the snow. It is hard to feed your soul when your surroundings offer little nourishment. In the dead of winter, life can be beautiful, still, peaceful, blistering, cold, unforgiving, changeable. There is but one thing to do when the winter storms come blowing: seek shelter, to rest, recharge, and reflect. We must all take refuge within ourselves from time to time. Our souls need the energy of winter to slow us down so that we can conserve our strength for when we need it. Yeah. A harsh lesson, but learning to face the winters of our lives prepares us for facing the future. Take the time to reflect on your choices and the consequences they reveal. Look for ways to evaluate the path you've walked. Learn from your mistakes and celebrate your triumphs without harsh judgment. When the winter winds blow into your spread, it is time for self-reflection. Failure to learn from your experiences often causes the repeat of mistakes. It's time to review the choices you've made without the opinions of others. What choices made you happy? What choices left you numb or lacking in inspiration? What is holding you back, and what resources could you use more? Use the answers to questions like these to get a better understanding of what truly makes you happy and to form a plan to start shifting your life toward the image of your choosing. This card comes with a message to rest. The world will wait for you. Give your mind, body, and soul time to be still. Taking time to recharge is not laziness. It is the choice of supporting oneself. You'll have more strength, energy, and focus to devote time to the things you love when you are rested. Okay. So, like I said, there's something important here about taking time to reflect, taking time to rest and analyze. Something else. I feel like my words are being manipulated. Okay. Yeah. And something about conserving energy, because we're going to need it for this transition, right, in the underworld, and to deal with people who are tricksters, right? But the underlying message here I felt was protection. We are being protected. If you need guidance, if you need protection, you need only to ask for it. And if you feel that you don't have any spiritual connection that you can lean on, I encourage you to connect with that, to connect with your spiritual self. And I don't know, reflect upon what it is you find solace in, whether it be your ancestors, whether it be a god, whether it be goddesses, deities, whatever it is that gives you strength, whatever it is that gives you power and comfort, because that is probably exactly where you need to look, right? I think it's different for everyone. So those are the messages. Those are the messages that I wanted to share today. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm working on shadow readings for the elements. So we're doing 4 readings for earth, air, fire, water, not necessarily in that order. And those will be coming out, but I'm going to release them at the same time, basically, when they're all finished. So this is just what I wanted to share today. Godspeed, and I will see you